Batman the Animated Series is easily one of the best animated shows of all time, and personally, my favorite adaptation of Batman. A spiritual successor to the Tim Burton Batman films, it features our favorite good guys, Bruce Wayne, Commissioner Gordon, and Alfred. And some of our favorite bad guys too. Penguin, Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn, and the Joker, just to name a few. Bruce is constantly donning his cape and cowl, battling to restore order to his beloved Gotham. But what if that's not what actually is happening? What if the villains in Batman the Animated Series don't actually exist, and Bruce Wayne is simply a disturbed man in an insane asylum imagining the whole thing? This conspiracy refers exclusively to Batman the Animated Series, which aired from 1992 to 1995. So for all of you die-hard Batman fans, lower your pitchforks just a little bit. For the purpose of this series, we're going to ignore the comics, the movies, and the video games. This conspiracy has been circling around the Batman the Animated Series fandom for quite some time, and it's actually been requested to us by a number of you. It states that the series is actually just about a mentally disturbed Bruce Wayne, who personifies aspects of his personality into fully fleshed out Batman foes. However, in our research, we came up with a little bit of a different explanation. Bruce Wayne is merely a patient in a psychiatric hospital, suffering from extreme trauma due to his parents' death. He has created the imaginary role of the Batman as his need for order and to control the inner demons that plague his mind. This is all a part of his dissociative identity disorder. So where could these insane villains come from? It is possible that they are aspects of his personality, like the original conspiracy states, but they could also just simply be other patients in the ward. For example, Two-Face could be a former politician, Dr. Freeze could be a disturbed scientist, and the Penguin could just be some rich old guy who lost his mind. And the Joker? Well, he could be a crazed clown, or he could still be the other guy in Bruce Wayne's head that is still furious about the death of his parents and just wants to watch the world burn. But who could Bruce's therapist be in all of this? Who could be there helping him overcome his disorder? How about the Mad Hatter? He may not be a major character in the Batman universe, but he makes the most sense. He's a villain who invents and uses technological mind-controlling devices to influence and manipulate the minds of his victims. Much like a therapist, the Mad Hatter is a man of science. He could be trying to help Bruce heal through psychotherapy, just assisting Bruce process the death of his parents. Mad Hatter may very well just be trying to help Bruce as a therapist. But for a man who interprets almost every single person he interacts with as a villain, for all he knows, the Mad Hatter could just be trying to brainwash him. Now, I know this whole theory might sound totally crazy to you Batman purists, but if you think about it, how could these villains really exist without Batman? Would Harvey Dent have taken up the fight with Thorne's mob if the Batman hadn't inspired him to do so? Would Joker be so chaotic and extravagant if Batman wasn't so dramatic and orderly? Batman and his arch enemies have a symbiotic relationship, meaning they couldn't really exist without the other. This relationship definitely is one that could have been created in Bruce Wayne's deranged imagination. So is it possible that Bruce Wayne's superhero life all takes place in his mind? So to explain this theory, we can look at the episode Perchance a Dream, where Bruce experiences an alternate life under the control of Mad Hatter. In Bruce's dream, his parents are still alive, he remains wealthy, and he's actually engaged to Selina Kyle. Batman still exists, but it's not him, and Bruce can't find any proof that it ever was. Bruce awakes to find himself attached to the Mad Hatter's dream machine. Hatter's explanation being that he'll give Bruce whatever he wants, a happy and perfectly normal life without the burden of being Batman, if Bruce just leaves him alone. This is where we could see the Mad Hatter being Bruce's therapist, who Bruce is convinced is just trying to brainwash him. He convinces Bruce that his parents are still alive and he has a healthy relationship with Selina, so he will forget all of the problems he faces. Mad Hatter attempts to rid Bruce of the burdens of Batman so he doesn't feel the need to fight these inner demons, like Joker, Penguin, and Dr. Freeze, and live in a dream world where he can be happy. Mad Hatter attempts to heal Bruce Wayne's tormented mind through various therapeutic practices, and Bruce sees this as manipulation. I think this is a really interesting way to perceive the Batman the Animated Series universe. And since this was a theory that we made up, we'd love to hear what you guys think. So on the plausibility meter, I personally give the Batman the Animated Series conspiracy that we kind of made up 4 Harley Quinns out of 5. Here's what you guys thought of this conspiracy. Naomi Maria, the dancing superhero, said, "I've actually read this before and it seems interesting. I mean, what sane person dresses up in a Halloween costume and fights crime? But then again, what about the Justice League crossovers? That's a really good point. Maybe there are other friends of Bruce's in the ward, or maybe he just imagines them as alternate versions of himself. Edwin04 said, "This is actually a real version of Batman. Instead of Bruce's parents dying, Bruce himself dies. The dad wants to avenge him, so he becomes Batman. The mom, on the other hand, goes crazy and becomes Joker." That's insane, and it's actually a conspiracy I've never heard before, and it's totally crazy. Grootbert said, "Maybe Alfred is another patient that is afraid of Bruce and obeys him. Maybe that's why he never gets paid." That actually could make sense. But maybe instead of a patient, he could be Bruce's nurse? Thank you guys so much for watching this very batty episode of Cartoon Conspiracy. In the comments, let me know what you guys thought of this conspiracy. We'd love to hear how you debunk it. Maybe prove us wrong, maybe prove us right. Who knows? If you guys have a suggestion for a conspiracy you'd like us to cover, please let us know in the comments, send us an email, or make a video. Make sure you check out that preview for next week's episode and catch up on any episodes you might have missed. Make sure you also subscribe to channel Frederator, and I'll see you guys next week.